Hey, hey. All right, so this is going to be a bonus general message. I always start these ones out with something real that happened, usually an anecdote pertaining to my dog. You see if it sets a tone for anything. Puppy dog has been kind of getting himself into a little bit of mischief in the last 2 days. He's expanded what he considers his terrain, and sometimes he's testing his boundaries a little bit. And on one hand, I'm proud of him for being like a grown-up doggy. Sorry, I have melted makeup everywhere right now. I'm proud of him for being like a grown-up doggy. And then I'm also like, okay, but remember, mama's voice is the loudest. Like, that's when you come to. And so we're going to have to do a little bit of like revert back to some of our old training. So right now we actually, this Five of Cups has been coming out like every time I use this deck lately, it seems like. Five of Cups, and we've got this Four of Pentacles. This is almost looking like, I don't think somebody is storing up energy because they're in pain. I almost feel like somebody is in pain because a person is busily like working on hoarding up other things. I feel like this is two different characters. I feel like, I mean, we could say it simply and say, well, one person is not happy with the actions that the other one is taking. You know, it's like, well, they're not doing what I want them to. They're doing their own thing over here. But I'm not sure that seems a pretty simplistic message. But let's break it down. Tell me about the Five of Cups person. Hermit, and then we've got the Justice card. So this person doesn't mean this is how the storyline really is, but their emotional state is, I feel very alone, and I feel like what's being done is very unfair. I feel very sad. This could be a Libra or a Virgo right now that is feeling very sad, feeling very now, and this does not mean that these two people are sad because of, you know, you're doing this and that's making me sad. It could just be that two people happen to be in the same energy, both for the same reasons, right? We don't know what their reaction is or what their relationship is just yet. Tell me now about the Four of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. It looks like somebody is sad because an individual is holding back and they're starting new. They're doing something different. They're focused on their new beginning with a page, 2 pages. So we have a Page of Swords and the reverse and a Page of Pentacles upright. This is, you know, what's interesting about this is that right now, I don't know, this could be two individuals, both of whom believe you don't even care about me. You're not even paying attention to me. You're not even wondering about me. You're just having some new beginning. You're really happy. You're giving to somebody new. And I'm just sure you've moved on from me. So I love that song, On My Own. What is it? Is it Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald? And it's like this awesome duet with such powerful, beautiful voices, but it's also like such touching lyrics because they're both singing about how, you know, he says something about losing you, it cut like a knife, and they're both like describing how agonizing it is, but they're both feeling this. Oh my God, are you kidding me? We have a Three of Swords. As I say this, wow, hold on. I was going to say this feels too thick. That's because it is. This deck has a lot of cards that are still really sticky. I think that's so weird. This is like the second time this has happened to me with this deck. And it's a 3 going to the 4 of Swords. They are, you notice that there's this broken heart that's like tattooed across the chest. At one point, this love gave somebody's heart wings. It felt so good. Now, it could be that, and it does not have to be a divine masculine, but both of these cards, we see a divine masculine. Now, I don't read for genders, so just bear that in mind. I only talk about energy vibes, so that it's a different way to look at things. But right now, we're going to say he, okay? So he seems to be very heartbroken. So if he appears to be heartbroken, let's actually change decks and let's get a vibe for whomever they're heartbroken over, okay? Because right now I'm very inclined to say this is two people feeling the exact same way. Two people like feeling exactly the same. Nothing is popping out, by the way. And I keep doing a shuffle, and then I flip the deck and shuffle and flip the deck, shuffle. And finally we got one. It's Temperance in the reverse. Ain't nobody happy. I was asking, what about the person that they're brokenhearted over? What state is that person is in? They're discombobulated also. Nobody is happy here. Nobody feels right about this. Nobody feels good about this. Remember, this does not have to be about a dude and a gal. This doesn't have to be a romantic at all. Sometimes people just get really broken up over, like, I don't even think you like me or care about me. And that is not true. Right now we have two characters both kind of miserable over each other is what it looks like, because they both think the exact same thing. So why do they think that? Let's dig. Why does the divine masculine feel so brokenhearted? Queen of Swords, Queen of Discs in the reverse. So they feel as if, I'm going to say that they feel as if a Queen of Pentacles will no longer give to them, does not wish to give to them, has become a Queen of Swords. Her life is very good. It's very serene, and it has nothing to do with them. They think she stopped caring about them at all. She does not. She would not give her energy to them. Now, this is just their perception, right? She has turned into a Queen of Swords. She has drawn a line in the sand and said, you may not cross this. Now, Queen of Swords is loving and wonderful. They see her as somebody that they respect a great deal, but they also say, I know she will never give to me again. Her thoughts about me have not grown into something positive. In fact, her thoughts of me, she doesn't water those thoughts and cultivate them anymore. She has become someone that has almost like they saw her once upon a time as somebody that was very like very earthy and like very welcoming, and had this amazing home that she would bring people into, and she would, maybe she used to cook for them, maybe they remember, oh, she was so good to me. And now everything is very streamlined. It's like I don't think that they would, her thoughts, she evaluates her own thoughts about them to determine, do I believe anything anymore? I think she's become highly cautious, and they know this, and this is breaking their heart, that she has gone from so warm, so loving, to absolutely no growth, no giving energy, and instead extremely logical, no emotions involved in her decision making, and when it comes to them, and extremely like I feel, here's the interesting thing, and I'll just say it because this is what it comes to mind from me. It's like they hate the fact that whatever has happened here, they've seen the change it produced in her. This warm, wonderful, loving person now is almost like she doesn't even trust her own ears. She'll hear what somebody says and she instantly goes, and 67% of that was not accurate. 10% more of it was semi-accurate. And, like I feel like she's become not robotic about how she determines what's true and what's not, but I think that they realize she has changed dramatically. Now, this does not mean they made her change that way, but let's see, how do they perceive these changes in her? Let's let them tell us. The 5 of Wands, the 10 of Swords. They say there was so much struggle. And with the 5 of Wands, it's the things that have changed, right? Things change because we have to go through it and struggle with it, and then figure out what the truest answer is, what the best lesson is. It's a burdensome thing to have to go through, but it is like practicing to learn what's true. And what they're saying is she's changed because she, through difficulties, maybe with me, she learned how to end things with me. She left this, and this was her garden space once, or I will say like her, we'll call it her she shed or her man cave, however we want to think of this character, right? There was a space that used to be filled with all kinds of, like, you see all the, in this case, they're using like plants and all kinds of things that we would use to help grow and tend to it, things that we're then going to put into the garden. This is like the place in his or her mind where she used to like plan a future with them, and she would, think highly of them and be hoping for some amazing outcome. she's left those thoughts behind. This is the equivalent that I see. They say she's changed so much. And the way I see her changes is all the struggles and all the turmoil made her finally give up on this. That's the way to say that. And that hurts them. Why does it hurt them? Why are they so sad about this? 3 of discs and the 9 of discs sideways. Well, here it says, because this was one of the most important and lasting connections, I'll say, and memories that they've ever had. This is something that their mind has continued to pluck at one grain at a time. This will never go away. These are fossils. That's the ammonite fossils here. And a 3 of discs is like working together on something, bringing energy together, preparing to be able to work together. In this case, it's like it has been little tiny minutia that their mind has focused on her for a really long time and has come to the conclusion that, you know, fossils remain long after their time has come and gone, right? And so their mind, they realize there will never, never, never be a time in this lifetime or the next, or probably the next, since we have 3 ammonites here. There will never be a time where they don't remember her, where they don't still wish that they could be with her. And I know that I'm laying this on thick, but this is what we got. The 9 of Pentacles here being sideways. It's like they will always feel like there's a gaping hole. And that gaping hole that they have is probably the one in their heart, the one that should be filled with light and happiness. She's made a significant impact on them. They know they're not going to be able to forget her or get over her. That has become very clear to them. And the worst part of it is that piece of their abundance, no matter how rich they get, no matter what happens, there is this really important piece of joy that they will not be able to achieve. And it doesn't really matter how long they take. It's become obvious to them that it doesn't matter how long it takes, how many years pass by. She will never, never, never be out of their head or their heart. You know what? I'm going to do something I don't usually do. We're going to put this video out right now, and then I'm going to do a part 2 just for her, because I don't want to talk about them in part 2. I feel like we need to give both of these characters, like, let's let them breathe, because this is like super intense right now. So in part 2, we're just going to pick up with just her, and then him, her, it doesn't matter. Whomever is, remember, this other character is just as unhappy about things. I only say her because it's a temperance angel and it looks like a feminine. It doesn't have to be, though. But let's talk, well, and because they looked at her as a Queen of Pentacles and a Queen of Swords. Let's do a deep dive for her, and then in the end of part 2, we'll see what happens out of all of this, okay? Thank you guys for being here. If you do enjoy my channel, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys in part 2. The free link will be right there in the description box, and I'll be recording that one as you guys are watching this. See you in a few. Bye.